In the legal world, there is a combination of forces that feed a corrupt and suffocating legal system for attorneys. Law schools, law professionals, judges, and even the firms themselves for whom you work create a system, a matrix, if you will, that is nothing like what you thought when you passed the bar exam. The purpose of this podcast is to help you escape this legal matrix, leading you out of the proverbial desert to be free of the bondage of the matrix. Hosted by Bryce D. Nyer, attorney at law with over 30 years experience in the trenches of civil and criminal litigation at the state, federal, and international levels. He's a highly accomplished and resourceful legal professional, a true master of his craft, and he's here to help you get your life back. Here's your host, Bryce D. Nyer.
Hello. It's another episode of Escape the Legal Matrix with yours truly, Bryce D. Nyer, coming at you from Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of Fort Bragg. That's right. So we've got what I think is I think it's an interesting episode we're going to talk about tonight. Let me tell you what it is for you law students and you new lawyers out there hopefully going to war against the legal matrix and opening, owning, operating, and leading your own law firm. Here's the topic. Don't be ghetto. That's right. I said it. Look, these podcasts are not for the mild and the meek. This is for the reality. It's for reality. Law schools aren't going to teach you reality because that's not their function. They're there to teach you the academics and get you to then get a bar prep course so you can pass the bar exam, and then you're going to get tossed out into the ugly, cold world. Well, here's the deal. So I want to tell you something. So I went to one of those major stores yesterday, chain across the nation, worth hundreds of millions, maybe billions. So when I went in there, I stood around. I need to get something for my laptop. And the people that worked there just stood around with their thumbs up their six and just like kind of ignored everybody, just standing around, taking their sweet time. And I stood there for like 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to see if anybody comes up and offers to help me. Clearly, I was standing there. And the answer was no. And so there was this other guy, and I'm pretty sure he was on active duty from Fort Bragg. And I just looked at him. I said, this is kind of effed up. And he's like, yeah. And so then I found finally what I was looking for. And then going to check out, the guy at the checkout counter, he's probably in his 20s. Okay, first of all, I looked like a slob. He looked ghetto, and then he talked ghetto. No greeting, no nothing. Just looked totally bored. I don't know, maybe he's having a bad day, but so what? We all have bad days. Doesn't mean you get to act ghetto. And this guy is just like not engaging, not even looking me in the eye, just kind of in a pissy mood. Puts my stuff in the bag, and then prints out the receipt, and then doesn't even say thank you, have a nice day, nothing, zero. And I got to tell you, I've been shopping there for, 20 years, maybe more. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to go back. And you want to know why I'm not going to go back? Because the last couple times I've gone in there, it's just been ghetto. And so if you law students and you new lawyers, if you talk and you walk ghetto, that's the way you're going to be treated. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you go through this interview process, big deal. So you pass the bar exam. So what? You're supposed to pass the bar exam. I mean, you are. You're supposed to pass the bar exam. So that once you pass the bar exam, when you go in the interview, the basic thing is about this chemistry. Can you connect? Do you fit in? Because if you go to an interview wearing nose rings and all this other crap, I'm going to tell you right now, most law firms, if you're trying to get an associate position, it's not going to happen. Now, you can open, own, operate, and lead your own law firm, and that's cool. That's kind of what we're about. And you can wear whatever the hell you want. But remember, when people come in, they're going to take a look at you. And I get it. You can't always judge a book by its cover, but I'm going to tell you something. In today's world, for the most part, yeah, you can. So, where are we going with this? Okay, where we're going with this is that over the last 10 or 20 years, everybody's just like, let's have casual Friday. Once in a while, okay, every day became casual. And then they started putting up all this crap in their offices and their law firms and all this touchy-feely, signo-virtualing crap. And then people started dressing like a bunch of slobs. And then we had fashion. And I'm like, some of the fashions coming out look stupid. I see on social media some of these runway shows, and I don't know what the hell they're wearing. I don't know who the hell designed. I don't know what planet they came from, but it's stupid. I go and look at when my mom and dad were in their 20s and the nice suits that he wore and what she wore, totally professional. I mean, just well-groomed, well-mannered. And now look at the crap coming out today. I'm just like, that's just stupid. And I remember in the 70s too, all these stupid hairdos and stupid clothing styles, and they ultimately went out of fashion. Starting in 1980, early 80s, people started getting their hair cut again. Guys started dressing like they were supposed to, wearing suit and ties. We started getting back to business. But in today's world, now I see, somewhat of a shift going back to men being real men and women being real women. Because for a long time, people were just confused and acting what? Acting ghetto. And the way they talk, the way they walk, the way they speak, all the movies and music, it's just ghetto. It's just trashy. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. And law schools, frankly, need to go back to having dress codes for the law students and really up in the game in this area of professionalism, because it's just unreal. Now, I'm not saying you can't go into work once in a while and be kind of chill and wear some jeans and stuff and, sweat a nice shirt. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, when I go out to all these businesses and these companies, there are some companies where the youth that work there are super polite, can speak the English language, look you in the eye, and greet you. And here's another thing I hate too, I want to talk about. When somebody says, have a good one, I want somebody out there to tell me, what the hell does that mean? Have a good what? A good life, a good death, a good marriage, a good car, a good kid, a good dog? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? It drives me crazy when I go through a drive-through or I go somewhere and they say, have a good one. Now I'm going to tell you what I'm going to start. I'm going to start with have a good what? Have a good what? A good day? A good night? What are we talking about here? What does this have a good one? It's the most stupid saying I've ever seen in my life. It's just ghetto. It's just ghetto. Learn the English language. Learn a proper greeting. I get with marketing and stuff, with certain things you're trying to sell, you're going to have a little bit unique marketing, make you different. But in the normal everyday life thing, say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello, goodbye, have a great day, Merry Christmas, have a great summer vacation. Complete your sentences with something of substance. It just drives me crazy. And I see this all the time. This happens in the legal profession all the time. We short circuit everything with these fancy Latin terms, and then we wonder why we can't have real communication. I mean, that's the biggest problem. I find it also astounding that most people cannot write in cursive. That just blows my mind. When I was in elementary school, we had to learn to write in cursive and print by the time we were, second or third grade. And most people today cannot even read in cursive. They just get on their phone and put all these symbols and memes and shortcuts and everything. They can't construct a complete sentence. They can't construct a complete thought. They've gone, what? Ghetto. Ghetto. Unreal. I sit here and I go into courtrooms and listen to the lawyers. I even listen to some judges in my career that are ghetto. They talk ghetto, like they're on the street vernacular. And it sounds unprofessional and it sounds totally stupid. And that's what you've had in society for a number of years. This is what's going on in the legal profession. I can tell you that when my dad was an attorney, I'm going to tell you what, suit and tie, a lot different. Now, I get it was a different world then, but I got to tell you something. This is from what I've seen in interviews and surveys. Like, women like well-dressed men in suits and men in uniform. And guys like women in really nice clothes that really make them stand out and distinguish and even enhance their beauty. And I just look around, and as I go through different companies and I shop different places and I order, I just like the service sucks. It just reminds me of Circuit Jerk City, i.e. Circuit City. I know why they went out of business. First of all, their service sucked. They took their salespeople, if I recall correctly, they took them off commission and they put them on hourly rate. Well, see, then there's no incentive. They had no incentive. So they just became lazy. They sedated. And their service, at least the one where I live here in my city, they sucked. It was horrible. It was just the worst service I ever had was from Circuit Jerk City. And I quit going there. And eventually, they went out of business. That's why you see a lot of companies go out of business when they don't give the proper service. That's why you see law firms go under too. They don't pay attention to detail. They don't connect with their clients. They don't connect with the reality. And they think that there's some hack, there's some shortcut to doing it right. And there's not. And what happens? They offer ghetto services. They do. This is what happens. This is why you see right now across the country, with what's going on with all the audits by DOJ. So we're going to date this podcast. You know what I'm talking about, because there's just no incentive. People just take tax dollars and they waste the money and then they act ghetto. And this happened again today when I was on the phone with a company and talking to people. It just amazes me the lack of skills that most people have today in communicating. It just absolutely astounds me. It astounds me. I don't know. It's just a very frustrating thing. And this is what I want to impart upon you law students and you brand new lawyers. I'm going to tell you right now, if you act ghetto and you've got some client that's got a lot on the line, they're going to wonder whether you know what the hell you're doing. Are people going to respect you? Are you going to show up in a manner that a jury or a judge respects you? Because there's a difference in getting it done and dressing like a slob, and then again acting ghetto, thinking you're getting it done, and you're not getting it done. You're just pretending. I mean, there are certain jobs I get, certain professions where you don't have to wear a suit and tie. I understand that, but I've also met men and women in certain professions that work in oil fields or work in heavy construction or work in those industries where, you get oil, dirt, grit. I mean, all those things all over you. But you know what? They can greet you, shake your hand, look you in the eye, and complete a sentence of, "Hey, good morning. How are you doing today?" And not the "Have a good one." I'm telling you, I want that stripped out of the English language. Have a good one. Just take it away. It's just like pronouns. That whole stupid thing with pronouns was ghetto too. Absolutely ghetto. I mean, it's just, this description. You might as well just put down you're a unicorn. I just can't stand it. I understand about a description of your service, like if you're an attorney, you're a dentist. That's different. But I don't need the he and she and it and were and they and blah, 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 or whatever the hell you are, whatever the hell you're not. We need to get rid of that too. That's just ghetto and stupid. So the whole message here in this podcast is you law students are going to start, especially if you're in your third year, you've already started interviews and maybe you've already had some clerkships. Maybe they liked you, maybe they didn't. But I'm telling you from my experience, when I got out of law school and even during my third year when I was interviewing before I took the bar and after I took the bar and after I passed the bar, they're looking to see if you fit in. They're sizing you up from the minute you walk in the door. They're listening to what you say and how you say it. And they're wondering, are you going to add something positive to this organization or are you going to be a liability and a high risk and a detriment? That's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to do. And let me tell you something. If you're going to open, own, operate, and lead your own law firm and you're going to have some law partners, you better know who you're getting into bed with. Are they ghetto? Are they going to be stupid? Are they going to trash your whole, law firm experience before you even get it off the ground, or while you've got it off the ground in your building and they destroy it? These are questions you got to ask. These are the better questions. So what's the moral of this story in the episode of Escape the Legal Matrix? Okay, it's real simple. Don't be ghetto. Don't be ghetto. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the story here. Don't be ghetto. All right, this is Bryce Nair coming at you live from Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of Fort Bragg, where every day men and women don the uniform and go wage war against our enemies to defend us against those enemies, to preserve the freedoms that we so often take for granted. This is Bryce out.